We're currently at a point within video game history where new releases are coming to a standstill, and companies are attempting to recapture past glories with their old hits. Whether it's Capcom remaking all their Resident Evil games, Game Freak remaking Pokemon with new twists like Let's Go, or even Nintendo, where they typically remaster their games instead of remaking with releases such as Wind Waker on the GameCube or Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS. No company is above re-releasing their old games, and I'm here for it. Remasters and remakes are an amazing way for the next generation to enjoy games we all loved as kids, and gives us a cost-effective way to share them. Have you seen the price Thousand Year Door goes for? Yikes! Before we get into the nitty-gritty, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing, and help me reach my goal of 600 subscribers. If you hadn't guessed already by the intro and the title of the video, we are going to be listing 5 GameCube games I feel should be remastered or remade for a modern audience. Though as GameCube games are mostly stylistic, a remastered facelift would be fine over a full remake.
So I hid it from the sharp claws.
Starting off at number 5, we have my first Star Fox game, Star Fox Adventures. I grew up as a Sega Kid, so I missed out on the Kirbys, the Metroids, and the Star Foxes. Surprisingly, I didn't like the space combat, and much preferred exploring the planets themselves and solving the puzzles. I have a specific memory of being so overwhelmed with pride when I worked out the Walk of Faith puzzle. Commonplace puzzle today, admittedly. It's a must-play game, and I definitely did not appreciate it enough.
Take out all the target dummies and show me you've got the right stuff.
The 4th game on the list is an odd one, and likely a lot of you may never have heard of it. But Battalion Wars is a hidden gem on the GameCube, and whenever I bring it up, I find myself having to give a brief history. It's part of a Wars series that started way back on the NES back in 1988, though you would more likely refer to it as the Advance Wars series. Battalion Wars is a real-time strategy game that sometimes gets confused for a third-person shooter, which is understandable. It's fun, unserious war game, probably one of Nintendo's finest, and sadly forgotten. Advance Wars 1 and 2 got a remake recently, so hopefully if it's sold well, there may be hope for a Battalion Wars remake. Rolling in at number 3, we have Metroid Prime 2. It's almost guaranteed this will be released before the release of Metroid Prime 4, with, we're assuming, Metroid Prime 3. But it's still no reason not to put it on the list. Similar to Star Fox, this was my first taste of a Metroid series. I remember standing there by a waterfall, watching the water droplets roll off a visor. At the time, that one effect was truly breathtaking, and a crazy attention to detail. You have to remember, we're talking early noughties here. It had multiplayer too, and it begs a question as to whether they will include online functionality or not upon release. I know it's not a GameCube game, but the same goes for Metroid 3, which I hope has a remaster. Number 2, I choose you! Sure, you could make the argument for XD, but my game growing up was Pokemon Colosseum, and by gosh, it was amazing. The dark settings, the dark characters, the Pokemon designs. During the 2D era, we'd all be clamouring for 3D Pokemon games, and for reasons mentioned before, I missed out on the stadium games as a kid. Game Freak don't really make these kind of experimenting Pokemon games anymore since Battle Revolution on the Wii, which wasn't even good, especially since the Switch is more than capable of running full 3D traditional Pokemon games. Maybe Game Freak don't think we need these games anymore. Fine. As a special mention, let's get XD Remastered 2. We need these Pokemon games back. And finally, what is possibly the most sought after and almost certainly the most expensive game on the GameCube, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. I never actually got the chance to play this, and to this day I've never played a Fire Emblem game. I never knew where to start, but I always felt that this is a place I wanted to start. Make it happen, Nintendo. Bring back this game from the dead. All in all, despite the popular opinion that remasters are lazy, I feel they offer the chance for new generations to experience games much in the same way I missed out on Star Fox and Metroid, as those games weren't remastered for the GameCube. Sure, Nintendo could make new entries, but these remasters will create new fans for our favourite games so the series can continue to thrive. I firmly believe that the reason Metroid Dread was such a success is because every game in the series up to that point is available on Nintendo Switch Online. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next Friday. SMX out!